you. And thank you for this fabulous conference. And well, congratulations to every woman here. Today is our day. I'm going to present these preliminary results on the bone industry from Cuzoul, a site occupied during the last glacial maximum, as you said before. Well, Cuzoul is a rock shelter located in Quercy in France, next to the Lot River. It was excavated in the 80s by Jean-Claude and Jean-Pierre Rigaud, showing a stratigraphy that has 31 layers. The first 27 correspond to ancient and recent Bategulian, when layers 29 to 31 to Upper Solutrean. We are going to focus this presentation on the Bategulian layers because the time and the richness of the collection. Well, in an osseous study, an osseous industry study, it's important to know the faunal context because it's the raw material employed in the manufacture of bone tools, and so it is the available one. Christophe Castel studied the faunal assemblages and observed that the most hunted taxon was reindeer, followed by chamois and goat. Large mammals, like horses, are only represented by 1%. So the hunted species are mostly medium-sized, and the contest analysis of these faunal remains allowed us to identify an occupation of the rock shelter at the end of the summer and during the autumn. Here is a table with all the classified pieces, tools, and waste products that I'm going to develop in the following slides. Needles is the most represented taxon in our study, with 181 pieces. It is an exceptional collection for needles. As you can see, there is a huge diversity in morphology and sizes, probably due to different functions. The smallest ones could be related with sewing ornaments, which are very abundant in the site. There are 55 owls, all of them made on flakes of bones of different sizes and morphologies. They show fractured planes, and the extremities work by scraping. Smoothers are 10 in total. Some of them are made on flakes of bones, others on segments of ribs. 13 pieces are points, some of them be pointed, other bevel, but most of them are medial fragments. The retouchers were studied by Castel. He quantified around 221 retouchers in the Bategulian, so this could be the most numerous typology group, really. He pointed out that there is a diversity on kind of blanks, their preparation, scraped or not, and the intensity of use, normally a single use, more or less prolongated. Most of them made on large mammal size. We have identified two more. On the left, we can see a fragment of horse metapod wasted after its exploitation making needles. It is reused as a retoucher. The second one is a flake work by scraping in the area which is not used for retouching. So it could be a reduced piece too. As we said, the number of large mammals is just 1% of the assemblage, and the number of retouchers made on horse and bovine doesn't fit with the hunted fauna. The intermediate tools are two. One is a reuse of a possible rogout of point, and the second one is a flake with tone fracture planes in its edges and bevel in the distal part for its use. About the technical pieces involved in the manufacture of bone tools, we have identified 7 waste products wasted during the blank production. All of them are flakes of bones with the fracture planes in the edges produced again by direct percussion, and most of them show removal scars in the proximal part to section the blank and waste in the case of the left side, the epiphysis, or as a way to recalibrate the blank or eliminate an irregular extremity. There are 2 more waste products that show the use of the groove and splinter procedure through multiple grooving and bifacial grooving. They are worked by scrapping, so there is a preparation of the block previous to its exploitation. Blanks are a total of 22. They show fracture planes in the ridges, again with the same technique, the percussion. As flakes, it was only possible to identify them because they are partially worked by scraping. There is a diversity of sizes due to the diversity of tools. So we find blanks which fit with needles because their size and morphology, while others could fit with points. The use of the groove and splinter procedure has been identified too on blanks, in 4 blanks, all of them with simple grooving, parallel to fracture planes. Finally, we have identified 18 dragouts. Here, the blanks are almost completely worked. The shape of the blank is close to its final version, so we can hypothesize the tool that was going to be made. Most of the dragouts correspond to needles, but of points too. So as a preliminary conclusion about the operational schema of acquisition of raw material, here we have found a selection of faunal remains hunted in the site, right, like reindeer. But large mammals are used, and those bones, the number of bones doesn't correspond with the number of hunted specimens. So we think that those tools made on horse or bovines could be introduced into the site with the arrival of those populations at the end of summer. About the operational schema of transformation, the main one is by fracturing sensulato. It consists in selecting flakes of bone produced during the battering activities. Those flakes are selected by their morphometric characteristics and used directly in some cases as retouchers, and as we can see in the upper part, in the A, with scraping in the area of use, like happens with awls and retouchers, or fully worked by scraping and abrasion and then drill in the case of needles. Other operational schemas have been identified as segmentation. It consists in sectioning the rib, which is worked by scraping and then use. We haven't identified which products of this operational schema, but which is obvious is that the rib have been sectioned to make this tool. And finally, the use of the operational schema by extraction. Again, flakes of bones are selected, and the blank is configured by a groove parallel to a fracture plane or by double grooving. Then the blank is worked by scrapping, and then the tool is made. Where those materials appear? Well, osseous technology is an identifier of stratigraphic inconsistencies. The presence of groove and splinter procedure in the solution and Bategulian layers must be revised and dated. Why? Until now, all pieces showing this stigmata have been dated and correspond with stratigraphic contaminations from Magdalenian layers. This technique was not really used in Solutrean and Bategulian, by the way. So if they belong to these layers, it will suppose the persistence in the use of a technique from the Gravettian until the end of the Upper Paleolithic, at least in the exploitation of bone. Thank you very much for your attention. I would like to thank you, Revolver's project, Laboratoire Trace des ERA, and Christina San Juan Fourcheur, because without their help, this presentation wouldn't be possible. Thank you.